joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your ism ride. Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for fun. They bash for hours, hooker baths, not showers. Bright and early, down and dirty for the cash and power. They gotta get the cash, the towers, and reach it all to a pimp. In my position, I'm all but exempt. These bras not wimps, I'm like them renegade bitches. BFFs with tricks but never getting paid riches. Grenade bitches, they dynamite, blowing up on the pimpin' and missing when the time is right. But when they life gets strife, they see pimpin' shining bright, but they action is life without. Bitch, one strike you out. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. See, that's the difference, nigga. The pimpin' mashing for these riches, nigga. Nothing like you master magician, niggas. Smoking mirrors with your game, hella extras to reflect the opposite appearance of a lame. Bitches coming from y'all, I can't rock with those. Tender-footed and rooted in them doctor shows. Soft shoe rituals, minute residuals. Papers on life support, your loots and critical. Something I learned about when running my earned route and working with turnouts is murdering burnouts. Cause knocking one of you niggas for a scarred bitch, that's knocking one of you niggas for some garbage. I'm heartless regardless, empty with sympathy, but banked up to the max with pimpathy. No remedy for me, I'm like this. My life is vice grip, synced in permanent ink. You can't rewrite this. My blood type is P positive, beautifully deposited with a lot of it. I'm popping this shit, and when I pop it so hard. I make a trapping ass bad bitch wanna hoe hard. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. Come on, pimpin', man, pop that shit. Show these sucker niggas they can't stop that shit. Let these hookers know if they wanna cop that shit. Treat the bag like it's hot, bitch, and drop that shit. And to you hoes, if you ever took a loss, bitch, show these bitches how to bounce back like a boss, bitch. Let them know that the best way to floss, bitch, is reach that paper to some pimpin' hoe and toss it. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. Yeah, man, what's happening with y'all? Y'all already know what to do, man. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button. Thing that look like that right there. You dig? Yeah, man, we're gonna chop some good game. Y'all already know my first order of business. Got to hydrate my game, put some of this good old love in my body. I know some of y'all probably like, damn, Freeze ain't suited and booted. What? It's International Casual Day for the pimping. It's a casual pimp day. You dig? Cheers to the game. But yeah, man, you know, Pimp didn't get suited and booted right now because after this live is over with, I am going to go and get my cardio in. Do probably about an hour of cardio, and yeah, we gonna go straight into the cardio after this live is over with, and then a little bit later, like in probably in the mid afternoon, gonna go to the gym, hit some weights, get some good calf work in, some good shoulder work in, some good arms work in. You know what I mean? Gotta keep these yokes right. You dig? Hold on. Let me give y'all a better view, man. Can't block the view of the yokes. You dig? Yeah, man. But yeah, that workout is important, man. Even if you don't do like a full workout, even if you don't go do like some calisthenics or some hit or some weightlifting or whatever it is, man. Even if you get if you don't do any of that, at the very least, you should at least get 20 minutes of walking in. You know, get yourself like a 20-minute walk at a decent pace, not just like, you know, dragging yourself along for 20 minutes like, no, you know what I mean? Like at least 20 minutes of, you know, some people call it power walking. If you get in 20 minutes of power walking, you know, you'll be all right, man. It's good for your heart. It's good for your blood flow, everything, man. So get you some kind of exercise, man. Now, ideally, you really want to get you a good workout in, man. Ideally, you want to get you a good workout in. But even if you don't, at least get 20 minutes of walking in, man. Yeah, man, I had to get on here, chop some game with y'all for a minute because, you know, it's a lot of nonsense to be on the internet, man. And I know you don't come here for the gossip, you don't come here for the drama, you come here for the game, you dig? And yeah, man, it be so much it's so much going on in the world nowadays, and it's real easy to get lost in the nonsense. It's real easy to get wrapped up in the drama to the point where you don't even understand what's going on. You don't even understand where you are, where you're coming from, where you're supposed to be going, any of that type of stuff, man. And a big part of the reason for that is because it ain't really a lot of like real authentic content out there. You know, not just real and authentic, but you know, positive, fruitful, beneficial. Uh, you know, and you know, just uncut, unapologetically raw. You dig? Everything is politically correct. Everybody is people pleasers. Everybody is trying to, you know, appease everybody, and you know, people scared to keep it 100 and all that type of shit, man. You know, me myself, I've been narrowing down my consumption of content. You know, I watch certain things to stay up on what's going on, you know, in the community and things like that. But you know, I do my best to watch what I eat and keep my diet healthy. And you know, lately I've been watching a lot of. I like the Diary of a CEO. That's like been one of my favorite channels for a long time. But man, they like bro been coming with it lately, man. Diary of a CEO. If y'all ain't hip to that, which I don't know how you wouldn't be because it's a very big platform, but the Diary of a CEO is dope. A lot of good content on there, a lot of good game on there, and Valuetainment as well. I'll be watching Valuetainment as well. Shout out to them. You know, but it'd be a lot of nonsense and a lot of drama, man. Like I said, I've minimized my consumption lately, man. I'm giving Instagram a break. I never was really a big TikTok person, even though I've been posting on TikTok the past few months. I don't watch a lot of TikTok. I don't engage in a lot of TikTok. The only thing I really do on TikTok is post. That's it. I don't follow a lot of people on TikTok. I'm not one of them people that just like. Then, you know, it's like, I don't know, man. Like, even though I'm on TikTok, I post on there. But for me, TikTok is like a young person's, it's like a kid's platform. That's how I see TikTok. Even though I know it's all kinds of different veins, if you will, of TikTok. You got grown people on there. You got grown content and grown people that follow each other. It's like a community of grown people on there, or different communities of grown people on there. But I don't know. TikTok is just it's a childish platform to me. It just, I don't know. Even though I don't think kids should be on TikTok. That's the cold part about it. It's a childish platform on one hand, but on the other hand, I don't think kids should be on TikTok. I don't think kids should be on social media, period. They need to be their ass outside playing with somebody, with other kids. You dig? That's a good podcast show. Bro does a good job. Yeah, Steven, man, the guy Steven from Diary of a CEO. Yeah, he be dropping. He be having some good guests on there, man. Like, his interview style is dope as well. And that's something I'll say too, man. See, like, with a lot of the black podcasters and a lot of the black content creators, a lot of them would be better off if they studied the game. A lot of people just, you know, jump off the porch and get into podcasting and shit like that and interviews, and some of them just don't be good at what they do. And some people just, they have the right guests, and because they have the right guests, you know, they shit just pop. Or because they was already famous, they shit be popping. Like somebody who got hella potential and he done his thing, or they do their thing. But that's Drink Champs. Drink Champs is cool because, you know, Nori is like the uncle that you never had. He got like that cool uncle vibe. But sometimes Nori be talking too damn much, and he be talking over the guests. He'll ask a question, and in the midst of that person asking the question, Nori will get to talking over him and shit like that. DJ EFN is cool because DJ EFN, he really kind of provide the balance between him and Nori. DJ EFN is more laid back. He gonna let the guests get their shit off and things like that. But if Nori would just learn how to just not talk over people so much, you know, as legendary as some of the episodes have been, they would be even better if Nori didn't talk over people so damn much. It's another black podcast. I think they're a radio show. Damn, man, I'm trying to remember what their name is, but they, like, the dude on one of the dudes on the podcast, he always talking over people, talking over the guests and shit like that. But you know, Joe Budden is dope. I like what Joe Budden got going on. You know, they do their thing over there. But a lot of black podcasters, they really need to study the game and figure out what it is that they doing, because they could be a whole lot better. And Fat Joe is Nori times 100. Yeah, Fat Joe got that shit bad too. And Fat Joe be a lot of people say he be lying. I wouldn't even say Fat Joe be lying. He embellishes a lot. Fat Joe embellishes a lot, which a lot of older people have a tendency to do. You know, a lot of times when older people tell stories and things like that, they embellish. And of course, it's not real time, and we not there to see what's going on in real time. So it's real easy. And then a lot of times, when you older, see, for younger people, you don't really understand. But when an older person is telling stories, or even a younger person, you can understand that too. Like when you tell stories, you might be in your 20s or something like that. But when you tell stories of your childhood, people that you looked up to when you was a kid and the things that they was doing and stuff like that, you might even embellish sometimes because it gives you a certain feeling when you talk about good memories from the past. So that good feeling has a tendency to make you embellish when you don't really mean to. It's very few people that can give it to you exactly how it is without embellishing. But you got some people that like overtly embellish, and Fat Joe is one of them people. He could be telling a story about something that was a 2, but he gonna turn that 2 into a 10. He gonna put the 2 on a 10. You dig? Fat Joe got that shit bad. But yeah, man. Whatever the case, man, what I would like to see more of is just not so much drama and not so much negativity. I know that shit sell. Controversy has always sold, but I just wish it was just more of a balance. That's why me, myself, I really do my best not to get into the nonsense and into the drama because it's just so much of it. And it's creating a lot of busters and suckers. It's giving birth to a lot of sucker ass dudes and a lot of trifling punk ass bitches. All the nonsense that's going on the internet, man. It's crazy. Me, like I said, I do my best not to get into the drama in the gossip, but a lot of it can be learned from if you're looking at it through the right lenses. And I be seeing certain shit, and it's just like, it's crazy. Like, I was watching my bro O'Shea the other day, right? Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again. Hold on. O'Shea, that's one thing he gonna do. He gonna keep you up to speed on the drama. If you ever behind on the drama and you want to catch up on the drama, O'Shea got it for sure. I'm trying to find oh, here it is. Wait, is this the one? I think this is the one. He did a few videos on this. I think this is the one though. Let's see. I don't think this is the one. Where's the other one? He got I'm trying to find a video. O'Shea was talking about Sha'Carri Richardson, but oh, here it is. This is the one. Stop the show. Now this is some. See, okay? See what I like about O'Shea, what he does when he tells you about the different gossip and drama that's going on. What I like about what O'Shea does is he shows people's thoughts. Like he shows people's reactions to certain things and he shows people's comments. And what I like about that, it's a real eye opener. It's very telling of the mindsets of our people and really how flawed shit is. But damn. Hold on, before I get to O'Shea, let me shout a few peoples out. Brother Bill, as always, good looking with the $2 holla. Glory to God for this game. Blessings. Long live Philip Brandon Gilmore. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you. Jody Killer. Good looking with the $5 holler. Turning 30 soon. Can you reflect on what it was like reaching this new level in some game on how to get better as a man? That's a great question, especially for me. I gotta, yeah. Let me finish these and I'll get right to that. That's a good question though, Jody. Luxury Beats, good looking with the $2 holler. Freezes it, aka Sub Zero. Appreciate you, man. Twisted Up Scotty, as always, good looking with the $20 holler. Blessings to you, P. About to get these 100 burpees done and get mashing. How I get that feature from Freeze though, pimp. You still in the studio? Yeah, I'm still messing with it, man. Yeah, we could talk about it for sure. 100 burpees though, you a fool for that. I ain't even gonna lie, I don't like burpees. Freeze don't like burpees, man. But part of the reason why I don't like burpees is because they kick your ass. And you doing 100 of them, yeah, I tip my hat to you. Low Joe, good looking with the $2 holler. 23 M's from Shannon Sharp. What's your thoughts? 23 M's, is that what you saying? Is that what the girl got? Maybe that might be some breaking news that the pimp ain't got up on. We'll get to it though. Hemp Lord, good looking with the $10 holler. Haven't smoked a vape since June 19th. I own a boutique dispensary. Hey, that's dope. That's dope, Hemp Lord. That's dope. You own a dispensary and you ain't hit the vape since almost 2 months ago? That's dope. I give you props, man. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, congratulations on that, man. Your lungs gonna thank you, man. One way that I'll be scaring my daughter. See, you know, most of the time, and not every case, but fathers and mothers have different relationships with their kids, right? And my kids, you know, I just respect them a different way, and I don't try to force them to be how I want them to be. I like to allow them to live and make mistakes and learn from their own experiences and things like that, right? But a while back, I found out that my daughter was vaping, right? And she might still be, I don't think she's like a daily vapor. Like, I don't think she walks around with her own vape. But I think what it is, it's a situation where, like, if she hanging out with her friends and they got one, she'll hit it. Mind you, my daughter's 15, right? And I know most parents, when they find out something like that, they're going to be like, oh, no, I can't believe it. And, oh, we need to do this and do that. And it's like, nah, you just gotta talk, but have the right kind of conversations. And yeah, so what I did is I showed my daughter pictures of lungs of people that smoke long term. And I think that kind of had the desired effect, you know what I mean, to a certain extent. Because I don't think she's I think she got like a little bit of a different outlook on just smoking, period. But especially vaping, because I think vaping, me personally, I think vaping is worse than cigarettes. It's just not as unpleasant as cigarettes, because cigarettes, they smell bad. The smell gets in everything. If somebody's smoking their house, they curtains, they sheets, they carpet, they furniture, everything is gonna smell like cigarettes. And then your hair, your skin, your everything, your breath, everything is gonna smell like cigarettes, right? Whereas with the vape, You know, it don't have that same type of, unpleasant thing about it, right? But but yeah, hopefully my daughter has gotten the message, man, and hopefully she continues or is leaving that alone because uh the whole vape thing ain't cool, man. But let's see. Oh yeah, back to Jody's question. Turning 30 soon, can you reflect on what it was like reaching this new level and some game on how to get better as a man? Okay, Jody, so me, right? A lot of things changed, especially for the better for me when I turned 30, right? Now, um, my mindset was that I wanted to be better coming into my 30s, right? And um, I had I had a certain point of reference with the older people in my family, right? Especially my uncles. Like I always say, I had 10 uncles growing up, right? And a lot of them, most of them had health problems when they got older, right? And a lot of them, their health problems started when they was in their 30s. I remember this from when I was a kid, right? So, um, I just remember the differences. I remember like some of my uncles being young and in shape and healthy. Then when they got in their 30s, they started gaining weight, getting fat, and getting, hypertension and diabetes and gout and all these different problems, right? And a lot of it had to do with, how they wasn't taking care of themselves, especially, food. Like for most of my family who have had health problems, a lot of it had to do with food. And I understood this approaching 30, right? So I told myself that, that's one thing for sure that I'm going to change is like, uh, not eating so much bullshit. Now, prior to me turning 30, I had already made certain changes. Like I told y'all, I stopped drinking soda when I was 19 years old. And the stopping soda turned into just all things carbonated. So I've never had a Red Bull ever in my life. I don't even know what that shit tastes like. Um, Sparkling water, anything that like if you shake it up, it'll fizz up. I don't drink it. It's anything carbonated, I don't drink. Right. So that was when I was 19. When I was what 20, 26. Yeah, 26. I stopped eating red meat and pork. So, approaching 30, I told myself that I was going to quit alcohol and fried food, which I did. And, you know, so that's how I made my physical better, right? And, that changed a lot. And then by me making that change, it made me want to get into fitness also. So, it was like I said, it was a combination of things, right? So at 30, I stopped eating fried food and I stopped alcohol. Uh, so around the same time, I was cool with Stiffy, some veteran game, right? And Stiffy, he's older. He was probably like when I was 30, he was probably the age that I am right now. He was probably in his early 40s or something like that, right? But Stiffy was on swole, in shape, you know what I mean, looking good, looking better than most people his age at that time. And I remember when we was in Hawaii together, Stiffy used to always tell me like, man, Freeze, you need to get into fitness, man. You supposed to be in shape, whoopty whoopty whoop. He used to really impress that upon me, right? So, like I said, around the time I stopped alcohol and fried foods, I'm hearing Stiffy in my ear. Then I'm looking at him. I'm looking at Kenny Red, also, older and in shape, taking care of himself, and just different individuals, right? Then, having conversations with different older people like Gangsta Brown. Gangsta Brown don't, I'm trying to remember if Gangsta Brown is vegan. I can't remember if Gangsta Brown is vegan, but I know Gangsta Brown, he never did drugs, he never drank, he never smoked. Gangsta Brown always took good care of himself. So even, upper in age, you could tell that he take care of himself, right? And then, Virgil, 80 years old and still be in the gym working out, you know what I mean? Like, so just seeing all of these things, these types of individuals in the game, and then like I said, looking at people from my family, uh, you know, and then I have another uncle, my oldest uncle, who's one of two uncles that I got left. My oldest uncle, he takes good care of himself too. He still get up in the morning, do his push-ups every day, and he's 80 years old. And he it's a lot of stuff that he doesn't eat. My uncle brother, uh, and I remember my uncle James, one of my uncles who's since passed, but they was close in age. And I remember my uncle James telling me like, man, I've never seen your uncle brother get sick. I've never seen him catch a cold. But it's because of the way that he takes care of himself and how he eats, right? And like that was like mind blowing to me. Like, damn, at that time he was in his 70s, and it's like, man, somebody who in their 70s and they brother who's has never seen them catch a cold before, ain't never seen them get sick. So just all these different things motivated me to take better care of my body and get into a love affair with myself. So that alone was a major game changer for me, uh coming into my 30s. Okay, yeah, somebody confirmed it. Yeah, he's vegan. That's what I thought. I couldn't remember 100%, but I was pretty sure that Gangsta Brown was vegan. Gangsta Brown too, he's vegetarian for sure. And then even Dre, you know what I mean? Andre Taylor, he had certain health problems, and to see him have the discipline to make certain changes in his life, and adopt a plant-based diet, and Dre liked to work out too and take care of himself. So just seeing these different individuals, like I said, me coming approaching 30, all of that motivated me to take better care of my body. So and then like I said, I stopped the alcohol, right? um One thing that did for me personally is it made me a whole lot better dealing with the ladies in my life. When I used to drink, you already know everything that come with alcohol and being drunk, man. uh I was like, me as a drinker, I was a lot more quick tempered. I easily get, set off when I'm under the influence of alcohol, right? So needless to say, it was a lot more friction going on with the ladies in my life. You know, things that the sober version of me wouldn't be so irate about, or that I would handle differently, and be more mindful and thoughtful on how to approach certain things. When you got that alcohol, or me, when I got that alcohol in my system, I'm tripping a lot of times, on the slightest thing. So me quitting the alcohol coming into my 30s definitely helped with that, as well as how to deal, not just with, even with the ladies in my life, but just people, period. You know what I mean? Because I was the type of person that, I'd be out in public, and somebody will say the wrong thing, or give me the wrong look or anything, I'm tripping off the alcohol. I wasn't just no maniac, but it was situations that could have been avoided if I wasn't drunk, right? So yeah, that made things a whole lot better for me too, in that regard, as far as putting down the alcohol, right? So yeah, man, it's been this year in October will make 14 years since I quit alcohol. And in the past 14 years, I think I've drank, I can't remember the exact number, but I want to say 14 or 15 times. It hasn't been any more than 15 times in the past 14 years that I've drank. And even though the number of years and the number of times that I've drank are almost the same, it's not like I've drank every year. Like when I first stopped drinking, I didn't drink for like 5 or 6 years. I didn't have a drop of alcohol for like the first 5 or 6 years. Then after that, I started like special occasions, celebrations, things like that. I have something to drink. And, you know, I kind of made like I gave myself a I don't make promises, but I told myself that when I stopped drinking, that if I ever did drink again, the only thing I would drink is the Rose Nectar Imperial Champagne, and I've stuck to that. You know, so whenever I drink, I have 2 glasses of this, and I'm good. You know what I mean? 2 champagne glasses like that, and I'm good. I don't need any more than that. I know when to quit. When I was younger and I used to drink on a regular basis, a lot of times I didn't know when to quit. And the alcohol had me mastered. So that's the difference now. Like anything that I indulge in now, I'm the master of it. And that's what inadvertently that's what I was doing when I was turning 30. I didn't really think of it in the sense of self-mastery. I just thought of it in the sense of, taking better care of my body. Like, okay, I'm gonna quit the alcohol, I'm gonna quit the fried food. And then as time progressed, I quit other things. I stopped eating bread, I stopped eating rice, I stopped eating dairy. I just made different changes as time progressed. But what I didn't realize I was doing at 30 that I was actually doing was becoming the master of myself. I didn't think of it that way and I didn't see it that way, but that's really what I was doing, right? Because now anything that I indulge in, I'm the master of it. It doesn't have me beat. If I decide to have a drink of alcohol, it's not going to master me. I'm going to remain in control of it the entire time. I'm not going to allow it to control me. So, and then, same thing with food, holidays or birthdays, I might treat myself to, some bullshit. Mainly like birthday parties. Like if I go to a kid's birthday party and they have some cake or something like that, I'll have me a slice of cake and maybe some ice cream or something like that. But aside from those types of situations, I don't, cause sometimes some people have that problem where they'll be doing good, they'll quit certain foods and they'll be on track and they'll be cool. Then they'll go around, family or something like that, and they'll have a slice of cake or some ice cream, and next thing you know, they eating that shit every day again or all the time again. Or some people, they might go months or a year or whatever without drinking, and then they'll come around somebody and have a drink, and next thing you know, they drinking every day again. Me myself, I don't have that problem because I've mastered myself in those regards, and I'm at a point now where I don't have the desire to have those things all the time. If I want to treat myself to something like that, then I'll do it. Some things I don't mess with at all. Like I don't mess with pork at all. I don't mess with beef at all. I haven't had lamb in a while, but lamb is probably like the only red meat that I'll eat, occasionally. Did I have some? Yeah, I think I did have some lamb last year on my birthday. I think I did. But yeah, so what I say to you approaching 30, Jody, is that, what I did is like I said, I didn't really think of it that way. But ultimately I just wanted to better myself coming into my 30s and, made certain changes, but your changes that you making at 30 might be different from mine and better for you. You dig? Yeah, so but congratulations, man, hitting that 30, you dig? 100 mean, man, I've only been doing 30. Hey, even if Latonio Green, even if you only doing 30 burpees, man, burpees, I don't like burpees. Freeze don't like burpees, man. Aquanaut says alcohol equals inflammation. Inflammations, gout, bone weakness, muscle loss, and prolonged recovery just a start. Yeah, for sure, especially that prolonged recovery part, especially when you get older. Like certain people that like, I be tripping off of that, man. Like I see certain people that I know that's in their 40s and 50s and they still drink all the time. And some of them work like a regular job. Like, I don't know how they do it. They're amazing. Because that recovery ain't no joke. King James says, I'm 32 years old. I do 60 push ups a day. That's good. You know what I mean? Like, challenge yourself though. Don't just stay at 60. I don't know how long you've been doing 60 a day, and that's dope that you do at least 60 a day. Even if you keep it at 60 for shit, a year, 2 years, however long, it's still all good. But you 32 years old, man. Challenge yourself. You still a young individual, man. Challenge yourself. You did. Right, Sylvia say, "Woo, child, that recovery process is terrible." For real. That's why, like I said, me at this point, if I ever drink, I'm only gonna have two glasses like this. That's it. I don't, it ain't no hangover. It ain't no passing out, slumped over in somebody's living room or somewhere. You know, it ain't none of that. It ain't no being slumped over. I ain't, I'm cool. Usually what happens is I have two champagne glasses like this, and it'll have me cool, like, for a few hours or something like that. And once it wears off, I'm cool. You know, uh, and see, this is something that a lot of people don't want to admit. Something that a lot of people run from. A truth that a lot of people run from. But the fact of the matter is, man, a lot of people use that alcohol just like people use drugs or anything else to escape. And that's why they constantly got to be drunk, because they don't want to face the reality that they have to face once they sober up. So some people just are constantly, under the influence of the alcohol. And it's because they don't want to face certain things. They stay on the run from themselves. So once you address whatever it is that you're running from and get in control of it, you don't need to constantly be drunk. Right? But that's really what it is, though. Some people have been running from certain issues within themselves for so long that they don't even look at it that way anymore. They don't even realize what they caught up in. They don't even realize why they drink so much, why they always got to be drunk. Some people don't even realize it, because they've been going for so long. But if you just stop and really think about it, that's what you're doing. Right? So, a lot of times people, do it to avoid certain responsibilities and, certain issues that they might have within themselves, certain trauma that they don't want to address and face. And, just it's a number of different reasons, man. But, some people use that alcohol as an escape. And, they having a drink for breakfast, and they going to sleep with a drink, so that's really what it is, man. So like I said, a part of conquering that is, conquering whatever it is that you're running from in the first place. Then once you have nothing to run from, once you have nothing to escape, it's that much easier to become the master of that alcohol. But see that's another thing that's not really promoted nowadays. You know, if you have certain trauma or certain issues, it's not really promoted to address it or how to even address it in the first place. They don't, people don't promote ways to address trauma like that, and then addressing it in the first place, and how to get it under control and turn that trauma from a weakness into a strength. These types of things don't really get promoted and talked about, especially in certain spaces when it comes to the content on the internet, right? Meanwhile, what is promoted is being irresponsible. What is promoted is running from your responsibilities, running from trauma, being enslaved to trauma, and things that help you escape it, like alcohol, drugs, the internet, social media. That shit ain't nothing but a drug, man. That's why it be so much crazy shit going on with these young people. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's certain things that I certain things that I would want to talk about, but it be sensitive shit, man, that I don't want to talk about. But yeah, man. Mr. Reed, as always, good looking with the $20 holler. This is why I love this game. I'm 41 and I went from 301 to 219 in 1 year by changing my diet. No sugar or carbs, 1 meal a day, 2 protein shakes. I tell everyone it was Freeze who helped me stop cigarettes. Just by your words. Man, Mr. Reed, I appreciate that, man. That's the type of shit that I love to hear, man. That's what's up. That man said he went from 301 to 219 in a year. That 1 meal a day. And see, some people, they hear 1 meal a day and it just sounds like impossible. Like, oh my God, 1 meal a day. How you survive eating 1 meal a day? But, hey man, our bodies wasn't really designed, us as human beings, our bodies ain't really designed to be eating three big ass meals a day. For real, we really not supposed to do that. We wasn't made for that. We wasn't made for 3 big ass meals a day and then snacks in between, dessert, cake and ice cream and cookies and chips, and we ain't supposed to be doing that. So yeah, I love to hear that, man. That's what's up. Yeah, see this what type of conversations I love having, man. Palm, as always, good looking with the $2 holler. Cutting alcohol was one of the best decisions for me. Yeah, man. That's what I love to hear, man. Matter of fact, shit, fuck it. Let's do this, man. Because I want to hear some people's testimonies, man. Some good motivation. If you've made certain positive changes in your life, if you stop eating a certain type of food, if you start working out, if you quit a certain drug, if you quit cigarettes, if you quit alcohol, quit soda, if you quit cookies, if you quit chips, If you quit candy, whatever it is, man. If you implemented certain things, if you implemented fitness, you know, if you took up a vegan lifestyle, if you became a vegetarian, man, hey, hit that link and join the chat. I mean, join the stream, man, and give people your testimony. You might motivate somebody to make a change today. You dig? But yeah, man. Or if you just want to, if you got a question, whatever it is, man. If you want to join, hit that link right there and let's talk about it. You dig? Food addiction gets zero airtime. Hey man, food addiction I think is one of the worst. That's something that I think, especially us as Americans, because we are a high consumption society in America. That's really all we know is eating too much bullshit. We kind of gotta grow up and learn different things in order to make certain changes. But most of us are not raised in a household. Most of us in America, we not raised in a household where all we know is a healthy diet. Most of us ain't raised like that. Most of us, it's 232 people in here right now. Most of us, when we was growing up, we had Chips Ahoy, Oreos, Doritos, Haagen-Dazs, Breyers. We had all the bullshit in the crib. Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, Sprite, Pepsi. We had all the bullshit. I'm not, like me, everything I just named, that's the shit I grew up on. Now, because I was always a very active and athletic kid, I never was overweight as a kid. But what people don't understand is if it don't get you now, it's going to get you later. Like a lot of people, we all done seen them people, those of us that's older, if you like 30 and above, you already know, like it's people that you grew up with, that you went to school with, and they was like skinny throughout your whole childhood. And you see them now and they fat as hell. Right? What happens is those same eating habits that they had as a child, it wasn't having no type of impact on them when they was a kid because their metabolism was through the roof. They probably was playing sports, all the shit. But when Father Time get to knocking on your door and you still eating all that bullshit, hey man, it's gonna catch up to you. Right, the ice cream truck, where I come from, we used to call it the ding ding man. It sounds kind of crazy in today's times, but the ding ding man used to come and with the it wasn't like a regular ice cream truck. They would have like the sundaes and the banana splits and all that type of shit. I don't know what happened to you. I think that was Chill. Oh, hold on. What's up with it?
What's good? What's happening, yo? Yo,
Man,
you said about sharing testimonies.
yeah, man, talk about it.
Cool. So I just recently realized I've been eating kind of poorly and decided to make a change. So I realized once I get to exercising, when I was on exercising all the time, I would reduce my appetite
Hmm.
as I kept going.
Mm-hmm.
When you keep eating poorly, you just follow that up with more more bad decisions. But once you dedicate yourself to some running or something like that, your body won't. It's almost like your body will start to rid itself of the craving. So yesterday I hit the track, not like that, not what you're saying, like not like pimping and something like that.
What? Hey,
But I hit
man,
the.
what track was you on, man? You hit the track. Okay, what? Nah.
But I was running it. I ran a few miles on the track. But
Right.
it was cool.
That's what's up.
Another cool thing is that when you're running, and you might be around people that are also running, and you might run into people that are doing the same thing that builds a community. So I saw a few people out there in a jogging crew, almost like a jogging crew, and I went up there and asked them like, maybe I could start jogging with y'all. Got some information, so maybe
That's
soon
dope.
enough,
That's dope.
jogging. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. And
So
it's
yeah, man.
dope that you said that's the difference between, you know, going outside to get your cardio versus doing it in the gym. On the treadmill or the exercise bike or spin bike or whatever, that type of stuff is cool, but when you was outside and ran into some, like-minded individuals and y'all, get together, motivate each other, keep each other, hold each other accountable. You know what I mean? It might be a day where you don't feel like getting to it, and one of them people call you like, hey, man, where you at, bro? Like, come on, we getting to it. So that's dope.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Just motivating, teaches
Yeah.
on, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
indeed. That's dope. How old are you?
30. 30,
Okay.
just turned 30 this year, January.
That's what's up, man. Congratulations. Welcome to the other side of the older.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't say
Man,
you over the hill. You ain't over the hill yet, but you in
man,
the grown man stage right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
20s,
There's a lot
you're
of
still trying to figure a lot of things out, but when you hit your 30s, that's when you really hitting that grown man stride. So.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna put some love in my body like so.
Yes, sir. I'm right with you, man. Yeah. Yeah, gotta keep that love.
Yeah, I've
up,
been up,
bro.
I've been up on your page for about like a month or some change, bro. I've been like binge watching and stuff.
That's dope, man. I appreciate that. That's dope. Hopefully you're getting some value from it.
Definitely, for sure.
Mm-hmm. What part of the world you in?
Boston.
Okay, Boston, where they park the car.
Yeah.
That's how the Boston
it's
people
cool.
be talking. But yeah, that's dope though. I ain't never been to Boston, but that's one of the few places in the country that I haven't been that I want to go to. It's some places in the country that I haven't been that I don't care to go to. But Boston is one of them places that I haven't been that I want to go to. I need to stop bullshitting on that and get over there.
Yeah, we right by the ocean, so there's like all kinds of tourist attractions, stuff by the water. So yeah, that's something to check out while you're out here, sports and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's dope. Well, Remy, man, I appreciate you, man. It's some other people calling. I'm gonna let them get on and get a testimony, man. But I appreciate you, man, and you're welcome to join anytime we doing this, man.
Awesome, bro. Thank you
For sure,
for having me.
baby.
Let
Stay
me
blessed.
in. Bless.
For sure. Okay. Brad, what's up with it, man?
Man, what's happening, Free?
You already know, man. Another day in paradise, above ground.
Yes, sir. I had just chipped in and chimed in and really didn't catch anything except about it sounded like unhealthy things and that you was doing and trying not to do. Am I correct?
Yeah.
All right. Man, mine sounds a little different, P. The alcohol, but I think more on the mental. I think what I'm allowing my mind and my brain to really think about compared to what I've been feeding it.
Mm-hmm.
Can that work? Can that be something to talk about?
Yeah. Go ahead, talk about it.
All right. Man, a little situation occurred lately.
Okay.
I am married, to a beautiful ebony woman. I do got some beautiful, smart, intelligent kids. Allowed the devil to step in. We've been together almost 20 years.
Okay.
Married for most of them. Been on the straight and narrow for a long time. Situations occurred. The devil came through. The alcohol came through. Now I'm in a situation. Where I'm still doing my manly duties for my family, but the funny thing is I don't know how basketball players do it because I ain't at the house, but I'm taking care of it.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side, I ain't got no urge for the alcohol and stuff right now. What I'm doing is I'm realizing and I'm using some tools. Um, I flip on your gear sometimes, man, and I've been jumping on sinful for a long time, man. Seems like that's the only friend you got sometimes.
I dig it. I dig it.
And I've been noticing, man, my mental. I learned something that your first thought is always wrong. But what I've been doing is just trying to feed my mind and my spirit with different things compared to my same old thinking. And
Right.
I think that's the hardest part. But I don't want to take too much time. I just want to say I did have a question
For sure.
on some different stuff that don't apply to what your show is about today.
Yeah, it's all good. You could ask it. We could talk about it.
All right. Well, yesterday I'm out and about handling some business, and this this one came by, started talking to me because I've been in a couple classes and stuff with her.
Okay.
She's young, but I didn't have to do no asking and talking on no interview type stuff. It was she was giving me all the answers without me asking the question.
Right.
So I gave her 3 things to do. So before she got my number, because then I was like, I ain't gonna give you my number. Then what? My wife want to be nice to me tomorrow? Well, check this out.
Right.
Here's 3 things I want you to do. Next time I see you, I want to see if you applied it and
Right.
if you did it, and then maybe I can help you, but you gonna help me too.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of I feel like I did better and I didn't jump on it. Here's my number. Here, do this now. I gave her something to do, so I want to see if it resonates. So next
Right.
time I see her, those 3 things have to be complete before I could even think of helping.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. I got you.
Most people jump on too fast,
Right.
and I think I shocked her with not jumping on as fast as everybody else do.
Right.
Thanks for letting me chip in. I'm gonna continue to try to feed my spirit and my mind with the best that I can.
Let me ask you. How long ago, or how long has it been since you and your wife ain't been on track?
Well, March I rebuked her. Normally she rebuked me, but she got me in a situation. And I feel like she set me up, and I rebuked her, and now I'm in a situation for that. I talk to her every now and then. We did do some adult relations on Father's Day.
Okay.
But in between that, she's I'm working on myself.
Right. That's dope that you working on yourself, man. But what I will say is that I believe that your primary intentions and your primary efforts should be to get back with your wife and continue the family thing. The situation with the young lady that you got the classes with, that's cool, but you grown at this point. So the decisions that you make should be long-term decisions. That decision right there with that young lady, it might be a cool, immediate thing that could take place, but in the long run, you already know that individual ain't gonna really serve you, and you're not even really gonna serve that individual in the right ways. It's just some cool instant gratification, whether it be monetary or physical or whatever it is, or social or whatever. That's cool, but you have like a family situation that need to be rectified. So while you saying that you working on yourself, you want to work on yourself in the right type of ways and stay focused. Because some people and some things might come along and just be a distraction. And like I say all the time, man, certain people was put on this planet for the sole purpose of distracting a great motherfucker from being great. And sometimes those people come in a pleasing type of way. They have a pleasant presentation, but really it ain't nothing but a distraction though, right? And if you, like I said, if you working on yourself, man, one, you want to stay focused and work on yourself the right way, and two, which is really also one, uh, you want to have the right intentions and the right mindset, and keep in mind what you working towards, because it sounds like you really want to rectify things with your wife and your family. Y'all got kids together, y'all been together like you said 20 years, been married for a long time. That's something that is priceless, and it doesn't really get promoted and glorified in today's times. But man, that shit is priceless. To have somebody that you connect with on that level, and y'all got kids together, y'all got a family together, that shit is priceless. And you as the man in the situation, you already know you got a lot of control as far as how it happens in that dynamic, right? And I know sometimes when you get into it with your significant other, certain feelings might come about and make you have like resentment or whatever the case may be. But the bottom line, you still want to be with her, and it sounds like she still want to be with you too. Y'all just ain't figured out how to get past your differences. But you as the man, you have the power to set the tone a certain way that will get y'all past those differences. But if letting people like that girl in the class distract you, it's only going to prolong that process or get you off track from that process altogether. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, hey man, these people nowadays, everybody got that ET finger.
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
they dialing 911 like it ain't shit. You know what I mean? That's like part of the
Yeah.
culture nowadays. So it's like you don't even want to take that type of gamble. It's you gambling too much. You know what I mean? Because
Okay.
when you end up in them type of situations, the first thing you're gonna be thinking about is your wife and your kids. You're gonna be like, damn
Yes.
man, I should have been at home. I should have been, interacting with my kids in this way. I should have been, enjoying my family in that way. So the bottom line, I just say, man, just stay focused. Sound like you
All
doing the
right.
right thing as far as working on yourself. Just stay focused on that. You did.
All right. Right on. Right on. Hey, you have a blessed day.
You too, man. Appreciate you joining
Thank you.
for sure. Yeah, somebody else had called, but I didn't catch him. But yeah, man, if you want to my boy Freeze ain't suited and booted today. Yeah, man, today International Casual Day for the pimping, man. Son, what's up with it, man?
What's up, man? How you feeling today, man?
Oh man, blessed, beautiful, fantastic. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm calling from that East Oakland, California, man. But
Okay, dig
I
that.
I got on to y'all a little on the late side, right? I never
Mm-hmm.
got to see none of Sinful's lives because I had just found out about him right before his passing, right?
Right.
So he did a video for you for your birthday,
Okay.
and he said they kicked your dough in. They took your suits, they took your drawers, and all kind of stuff like that, and it was behind. And she, like she ran that play. So
Mm-hmm.
I was really just wondering, right? So
Right.
after something like that happens, right? What precautions do you take to ensure that that doesn't happen again? And how did you run into a woman like how did you run into that type of woman? How did you get involved with that type of woman and not know that she was about that? You know what I mean?
Well, so that particular woman, right, in that situation, uh, the backstory on her was she had came from some good representation. One of my partners out of Berkeley, right? Uh,
Hmm.
she had been with him and she was solid with him during the time that they was doing their thing, right? And then I came across her, and I had her at a different time before that time, right? Like I had her, but she wasn't around that long, maybe like a week or something like that. Then she moved around, and a few months later, maybe like 3-4 months later, we crossed paths again, and we link back up again, right? But mind you, I'm young in the game, I'm young in life, period, right? And I never been through that type of situation before, so a lot of times when you haven't touched the fire to feel how hot it is, no matter how hot it may look, it's different when you feel how hot it is, right? So you know and also warning comes before destruction, right? Because one of my partners, Hot Shot, at the time, what I mean, who I was real cool with, Hot Shot, he had been through some similar situations, and he had told me, man, one time we was chopping it up, he was like, man, don't ever let a chick know where you lay your head, unless this, that, and the third. He was running it down to me, right? So that was the warning, but I didn't heed the warning. And so, the situation happened as you described. And it really gave me a deeper perspective on what I already knew. I already knew that I shouldn't have trusted this chick to that magnitude in order to have her around and know my business like that. So it was that, and then also the game spared me because like I said, like Sinful told the story, I told the story myself too. But when I came back to my spot, man, it was a Chuck Taylor footprint on my door like this. Like it was like a size 15. So when somebody, you already know, man, we from California, so you already know when somebody come through like that, they not playing. You know what I mean? And I'm not playing either, but it's just a good thing that I wasn't there. You know what I mean? When the situation took place, because it could have been much uglier. But so I looked at it from that perspective, as well as the losing of my belongings and shit like that. So how I tightened up is just moving forward, not just giving my trust out like a Chinese food menu. You know what I mean? Positioning people to earn my trust.
Yeah.
So I just got different things that I do to position somebody to earn my trust. And nowadays, man, shit, when it comes to that type of trust, shit, it ain't too
Have
many
you ever
people
run
that
into
even,
them type of people?
huh?
Now I said, like, so like if you were to run into that person again, you just keep it moving, or like how does that work? Like
Especially in
like you
today's
run that
times,
set apart.
yeah, I'm gonna definitely just probably keep it moving, man, because um, I'm a firm believer in you reap what you sow, right? So there's no way that you can like just sow them type of seeds everywhere you go and you not gonna reap what comes behind that. So
Yeah.
like the way I see it, and that happened so long ago, ain't no telling where that individual is in life now. You know what I mean? But she pretty
Yeah.
much gonna do it to herself before anybody else can, or worse than anybody else can too, right? So
Hmm.
but the crazy part about it, right? So after it happened back then, like I said, she had my partner from Berkeley, he was already familiar with the broad, right? So when the shit happened, I run into him on the strip and let him know what took place. And he like, man, that's crazy. The broad just was on my line. She out there in LA, right? So while I'm sitting right there in front of him, he calls her. She was on I think Century back then. That's how old this shit is. Century ain't even active no more. But I think she was down on Century at the time.
Yeah.
And I could hear the conversation. He telling her like, yeah, bitch, get you a ticket and come back to Vegas. Wooty wooty whoop, right? So he navigating her through the whole shit over the phone. And she like, all right, I'm gonna be out there at such and such time. So he had set everything up, and he was like, P, you know, when she get in my face, I'm gonna let you know, and then you can handle it however you want to handle it, right? So it ended up being a miscommunication on my part. Like, he was trying to, like, when she had came around, he was hitting me up, and I think I missed his call. I was busy doing something else, or something was going on. But you know, then when I finally talked to him again, he was like, P, man, I had her right there, whoop de whoop. But like, really looking back at it, I wasn't even that serious about you know, taking vengeance out on her or anything like that. I just was more so focused on tightening up. You know what I mean? Like, looking at myself, like, you know, if I didn't make certain decisions, then this wouldn't even been possible. So, you know, I got to make better decisions moving forward. That's how I was looking at it, right? So I say all that to say, like, if I was to run into somebody like that, you know, 9 times out of 10, I just keep it moving, because, you know, whenever bad shit happened to me in my life, I always look at it like it could be traced back to a decision that I made. So if I make better decisions, you know, I won't end up in them kind of situations, right? Like, just real quick, I'll tell a story. Like, I told this story not too long ago on a live, right? I don't know if you might have seen it, but I was talking about how when I was in New York, me and my bro Smooth, my partner Smooth and me, we was in New York hustling and shit like that. Smooth I got robbed, lost his ID. So we trying to get a fake ID. You know, we from LA, so we used to going to Alvarado getting a quick thing. You know, back then it was like $60, get you a ID in an hour, and you on, right? So we thinking, this is New York. This is the biggest city in the country. They gotta have something like Alvarado. You know what I mean? So we run into this dude. We give dude the money. It was like $100 or something like that. He burnt us, right? So fast forward like a month later, I had met this chick in Harlem. I done moved in with the chick, me and her staying together and shit like that. And I see dude that burnt us, right? And he was like an old smoker type dude, probably like in his 40s. He was clearly a smoker. You know what I mean? I could have easily like did something to him. I could have did him bad. You know what I mean? But when I seen him, I was just like, I just thought, I was just like, man, I'm gonna just charge it to the game. It ain't even worth it, like, doing anything to him, because it ain't gonna change nothing. You know what I mean? He gonna go get somebody else, because we in Manhattan. Like, shit, it's a million marks around here. So no matter what I do to him, he gonna go get somebody else, and it, you know, it ain't gonna do nothing for me. So it's like, you know, I just looked at it like, you know, I just gotta tighten up. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at them type of situations.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Yeah, and also, hey, I'm like 260 now, but I was 340, but I was really just eating that fruit and water. I don't really drink the Fiji though. I got my own little other little water that I drink. But yeah, man, rest in peace, Sin, man. That's where I got that shit from. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man. You
Yeah,
said you at 260 now. You was at
insight.
You said you started at what weight?
340.
340. So you down
340.
80 pounds.
That was October, I believe.
Also, in less than a year, you done dropped 80 pounds. Yeah, that's dope.
A lot of it, but I mean, eating once a day too, though. So I just have, like, now it's watermelon season. I cut a watermelon in half. I eat that, some oranges or something, and I get outside for the day. So I'm moving around a lot, working out in the morning. But it's all the extra moving that you do, and you walking, and you know, you doing this, you around.
Right.
And yeah, so yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Sin to be proud to hear that, man. That's dope.
Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate it, man. I'll let somebody else get on this thing.
For sure, man. I appreciate you joining, man. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Yeah, that was dope. That's what I like to hear. That man said he done lost 80 pounds since October. So that's almost a little bit under 10 pounds a month. Because October was like almost 9 months ago. Or 9 and some change, you know, almost 10 months ago. That's almost 10 pounds a month. That's dope. 1 meal a day. moving around, exercising in the morning. Yeah, that's dope, man. I love to hear that type of shit. Yeah, man. And see what people don't understand, just like, oh, here go chill right here. What's up with it?
Yo, what's on? What's on? What's on? What's on? P blessings. Blessings. Blessings to the chat. You know what I'm saying? Blessings to all the fellas and the ladies in the chat. The call, tapping with you. I had a quick question, but I did want to see how you been feeling. How you been doing.
Oh, I've been blessed, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, life is beautiful,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. For sure. Okay. Okay. Nah, for sure. I know you was talking about your baby girl earlier in the video, right?
Yeah.
And just her experience out in the world and shit like that. And I did had a question regarding that. Just dealing with women majority of your life. You feel me? And
Hmm.
having a girl, right? Just like the things that played a part in like your this. So like just building her self esteem, understanding like just like the marketing behind beauty products and shit like that. Like what ways did that help you guide her, along, you just growing as a man, you feel me, pretty much, you feel me, like in what ways did, having a little girl, just have to, it kind of built you, pretty much, you feel me, because you got a boy and a girl, so I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you lead them different than the average person, you feel me, so that's where I was coming from with it.
Yeah. Well, as far as having a girl, again, I mean, this kind of applies to both of them, or just any, kids in general. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of just let them live because, like, it's funny that you mentioned beauty products, right? That's another
Yeah.
thing that my daughter is kind of like, heavy into, and I don't like it. I don't like the fact that she is so
Right.
heavy into the makeup and things. But at the same time, like I said, you know, even though she's a girl, I still remember what it's like being a kid, right? And being into
Right.
certain things at that time, right? And I reflect back, and I'm pretty sure that, my parents at that age, they probably didn't like the way that I dressed, or, maybe the music that I was listening to, or just certain things that I was
Yeah.
saying and doing. They probably wasn't feeling at the time, certain friends that I was hanging out with, stuff like that, right? So, said, I'll give my take on certain things. Like, I'll give my outlook to her. I'll let her know that, you really don't need all that makeup like that because you're beautiful as it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
you know, uh, I'll let her go through that experience herself. I don't tell her that she can't wear makeup or anything like that.
Right.
Because that's another thing that you got to understand as a parent too. Like, how they say, what you resist persists. If you try to force your kid to be a certain type of way, if they really want to do it, they gonna do it anyway. So the best thing you could do is just advise them, as best you can. And you
Right.
know, so like with the whole makeup thing, I just kind of let her do her thing, and she's scaled back a lot, because like I said, she's
Yeah.
15 now. She'll be 16 in a few months, and she started kind of like dabbling with the makeup, I say, when she was probably like 13. She was kind
Mhm.
of,
Mhm.
but you know she didn't know what she was doing, so she was going overboard with it. And I would tell her
Yeah.
how
Right.
I
Right.
seen
Right.
it, but you know now that it's been like a couple of years, she's gotten better at how she applies it, but I still don't like it. But I
Right.
my theory is that as she continues, she'll, just like she's evolved up until this point, she'll evolve some more, and she gonna come into her own, and it's gonna be all good. You dig? So,
Right.
but yeah, ultimately, man, I advise, and of course, there's certain things it's just an absolute no. Like, I'm gonna let her know, like, you can't do this, you can't do that, or whatever the case may be. But for the
Yeah.
most part, I just do my
Yeah.
best to just let her live and go through her experiences. At the same time, giving her game on a lot of different things too, though. You know what I mean?
Right. Right,
I give
exactly.
her I stay dropping game because that's the beautiful thing about having a teenager. You could chop it up with them, uh, on a more mature level, right? So I do that with her all the time, and then
Yeah,
now what's cool about her, what lets me know that my daughter is gonna be all right, is that she is not
yeah,
like the typical teenager in 2025. Like she's not like,
yeah,
of course she got a phone and she be on the internet and shit like that, but she's not so consumed by it. Like she still like going, she like going to the mall with her friends and hanging out. She just went and got her permit a few
right.
months ago, so she be driving now. It's to the point now because I taught her how to drive, so but she done got
Yeah,
so good because her moms was scared to let her drive at first, but after she went and got a permit, her mom started letting her drive. So now,
right.
what I mean, she told me a couple days ago, her mom let her drive on the freeway and she drove like an hour. It was like an hour and a half drive that she did on the freeway. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
now whenever I go
yeah,
see her, I hop in the back seat. I let my son sit in the passenger seat. He ain't really into the driving thing like that, but she is though.
yeah,
And plus she got her permit, so I hop in the back seat.
yeah,
That's how good of a driver she
yeah,
is and how confident I am in her, her skills. So I just sit in the back seat and let them
yeah,
you know what I mean, let her drive, and
yeah. Do
I
they
don't be
thing.
trying to go ahead.
Nah, I was saying you just let them do their thing and things like that. That's what I was that's where I was coming from with it, right? Because even you just speaking about their moms, right? And I'm pretty sure I heard you say she was in the game at some point with you, right?
Yeah.
And it was certain things I'm pretty sure you taught her. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all just growing together in the game before y'all had kids, right? So just you just dealing with women in general. I figured like maybe it was just some things like when you had a little girl, you had the capabilities of showing her this and that, better than the average dude, better than the average guy, because you had to go through it, throughout the game.
Yeah,
So
well,
yeah, that's where I was coming from with it, P. You feel me? But
like as far as like interactions with her and dealing with her is gonna be totally different naturally because I come from the game, as opposed to how a trick deal with
right,
his
right,
daughter,
exactly,
or how a square might deal
exactly,
with their daughter or something like that. Me coming from the game, my outlook on life is just completely different, and I understand the game is power. So you
right,
know, uh, I'm always challenging her in different ways mentally. You know what I mean?
right,
So yeah, stuff like that, and then uh,
yeah, yeah,
and at the same time too, like dealing with women, right? As a man, when you deal with
right,
women, you want them to trust you as much as possible. Because the more a woman trusts you, the more she's gonna reveal to you, the more comfortable she's gonna be talking with you about things that she don't feel comfortable talking with anybody else about. So on that same token, that's how I am with my daughter. You know, she be
yeah.
telling me certain things that I know she wouldn't dare tell her mama. You know what I mean? Because
Her mom,
her
yep,
mom is gonna be like, "Oh my goodness," you know what I mean. But me, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, is that
yeah,
right? Okay. Well,
right, right,
you could handle this like this, and it'll go that way, or if you handle it like this, it'll go this way." You know what I mean? So we've established a different kind of trust. Just like I'm pretty sure she trusts her mom in
right,
ways that she don't trust me. You know what I mean? So we've just
yeah,
established a different type of trust. You know what I mean? So she knows she could talk to me about anything. When it comes to boys, experiences that she be having with boys, she could talk to me
yeah,
about it in ways
yeah,
that she knows she can't talk with her mom because her mom gonna be like,
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
scold
She
her.
gonna press the issue and shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah, nah, that's understandable. You feel me? If anything, I want other people to call in. That's pretty much all I had. Thought it did correlate with the concept of the video. You feel me? Like it's
for
pretty
sure,
much how society is coming about. You feel me? So I just had to share that with you, and I appreciate you all the time. If anything, I'm stay tapped in and show
for sure, man. I appreciate you for joining.
already for sure. Blessings. One.
Blessings. Yep. Yeah. what, man? Let's see. Okay, y'all got the likes looking something like the viewers, but I'm pretty sure some of y'all ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain. So if you have not, please do so now. Hit that like button, man. Short change say it's not all about the weight. NFL running backs 5'10", 220, mostly muscle though. Yeah, that's real. What's up with it, man?
Man, just
happening,
coolin',
man?
P.
How you
Nah,
been, man?
shit, P. Hey, man, I've been hustling out here, man. Trying to get it right, you know what I'm
For sure,
saying?
dig that. Hell yeah.
How about yourself? How you been, Pippin?
Oh, I've been blessed, man. You know, shit, living life.
Man, I've been looking for you, P. I was like, man, P ain't even been doing no lives or nothing. Where he at, P? Where you
Well,
been
you know,
at?
I was going kind of hard, and I'm about to start it back up too, going with the pre-recorded like short videos. You know what I mean?
Okay.
When I got into that zone, I wasn't going live as much, you know, but I've been going live more lately than I was like a few months ago. But I'm a kick both of them back up, you know. I'm gonna start putting out more short videos again, and I'm gonna start going live more often too. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be looking for these lives. I'm like, man, I need to hop on. But like I said, I've been hustling. I got a second little gig real quick.
For
So
sure,
most of my
dig that.
day just be jammed up.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I feel that, man. I just want to come and politic with you, fellowship with you real quick.
For
You know
sure,
what I
for
mean?
sure. Hell yeah, man. I dig it, man. Shit, you been taking care of
Man,
yourself, huh?
yeah, man. Just been, you know what I mean, taking care of my mans. You know what I'm saying? I got a kid too. You know what I mean? So I make
Right.
sure my man stay straight.
Yeah, that's what's up,
You
man.
know,
That's a blessing.
school coming back for the kids and everything. So you know, I got to make sure he fresh like we used to do back in the day. You know?
Hell yeah, I just tightened mine up too. You know what I mean? You know, so they in high school, so you know you got to make sure they straight.
Yeah, you know what I mean. He in third grade, so you know what I
Okay,
mean.
for
He's a
sure.
young
Yeah,
one out here.
yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know about where you
but
at, but over here in AZ, they do it. It's a trip. You know, like in California when I was like in high school, for instance, right? We used to start back school in September, but out here, they summer break is over with in July.
dang.
So they already back in school, you know what I mean? Like it's a trip. Like they summer break is 2 months out here. But I think the reason why is the way it breaks down is like they get more breaks throughout the year, like 1 week breaks or, you know, more like off days, like student free days or whatever they call it. You know, I think they get more of that. That's why the summer break is shorter. But
Oh,
I would
okay,
prefer the
okay.
longer summer break though, personally, especially here in Arizona, man. It's so damn hot. To only have 2 months summer break is like kind of crazy, but out here,
Yeah, it's definitely hot out there. I've been out there a couple times. It's definitely hot. I'm like, golly, you know what I'm saying?
hell yeah,
Definitely out there. I just came from Philly and New York like a
okay,
week, chilling out there, just turning up one time. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's what's up.
So I wanted to ask you, since that makes me bring up a question, man. When I was out there in Philly, I'm out there fellowshipping with a couple ladies. They feeling me. They talking about my swag, talking about how I talk funny since I'm from Colorado and everything. So
Yeah,
they like, I'm I'm in there fellowshipping. Next thing I know, some dudes come and it kind of get a little dangerous for your boy. You see what I'm saying? When
oh
the
for real,
dudes come. So how did you? Yeah, man. I don't even know what they was tripping for, but I was by myself though. You see what I'm saying? I
yeah,
wasn't with nobody. So
right,
I don't know if it was that girl. That's the reason they was kind of pressing me. or maybe because, you know what I mean, I had on some jewelry and I was by myself. That's maybe why they was pressing me. You know what I'm saying? So how do you kind of maneuver through things like that?
Well, you know, me personally, whenever I've been in dangerous situations, man, I kind of, you know, play it by ear depending on what the situation is, you know, check people's temperatures and things like that. But the main thing is to maintain your composure and not, because I know it's like on some man shit, it's kind of like that urge to match their energy. You know what I
Yeah, the
mean?
disrespect. Like, what?
Right. You know, it's do that, but you know, when you letting the game operate in you, coming from a game oriented standpoint, you know, you already know that's the best weapon to arm yourself with. And you know, when you apply game the right way, of course not in every situation, but a lot of situations, you can disarm them with the game. You know how Sinful like to say
Okay.
charm and disarm. You know what I mean? You can do
Yeah.
that with them in
Correct.
a lot of cases, and you know, uh, Dre called it putting a big hat on people. You know what I mean? A lot of times you can put the big hat on somebody like, damn man, I see you with them shoes on, or you know, something like that. You know what I mean? Just to let them know that you ain't on no bullshit. And
Uh,
but you know, the main thing is like me personally, I don't match their energy, and then like what helps me not match their energy is to not be offended by anything that they saying or doing. Like, because a lot of times, like you said, when somebody disrespects you, you know, it'll make you feel a certain type of way. But I always know the truth about myself. I always keep the truth about myself in mind. And I know that whatever they saying to me or how they feeling about me or whatever the case may be, that has nothing to do with the truth that I know about myself. So, you know, a motherfucker could say something or whatever the case, you know, like if I got to defend myself, that's something different on some physical shit.
yeah.
But a lot of times you can avoid that by, again, like I said, not matching their energy. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, when people see that you from somewhere different, or like you said, you was by yourself, they really might want to try you. And then, like you said, you get an action from the ladies. It'd be shit like that. But see, like, I made a video not too long ago talking about how, you know, to observe women and understand things about them before you approach them. Times when you in certain places, especially when you out of town, you got to do that. You know what I mean? You got to pay attention and see what's going on, see how the chicks is interacting with different people, you know, and you know, sometimes it might not even be that chick. It might just be a dude that like the chick and they don't like the fact that she giving you action. You know what I mean? But you know, you got to pay attention and observe all that type of shit, especially when you out of town. You know what I mean? You know, but it's good to have somebody with you as well too. You know, like if you can like when you in them type of places, if you could have like a home girl or something like that. Cause that's one thing about females, man. Like why I like when I go in places like that, I like having a female with me because they notice shit, especially with guys. They notice shit a lot of times that the guys don't notice. You might have a homeboy that's like that too, like super observant, like, oh, that nigga got a blower in his pocket. Okay, I'm keep my eye on him. You
Watch
know,
him.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. But you know, females, they like they have a tendency to pay. I say it all the time. Females are better at paying attention to, you know, details. Females are more meticulous. Us as men, we better at considering the whole picture, the big picture,
Picture.
everything and how everything has to do with each other. But females are better at being meticulous and paying attention to details. So, you know, and they notice certain things about guys that we might not notice, you know. So, and it's always better to have a second pair of eyes. So, it's like me myself, I like to meet a female and get cool with them and then go out in them type of environments, and you know that they'll be able to let you know certain shit too, and then by them being a female, if it's a chick that's giving you action, they might be able to have a side conversation with them and reveal certain things that the chick ain't gonna reveal to you herself. It's just, you know, it's a lot of shit that you can a lot of benefits that come from having a chick with you. Like prime example, right? I remember this was years ago. I was
Okay.
in Baltimore, right? And I was at the strip club and I had this chick with me, but you know, that was my 304. So we was both in there, but we wasn't in there together necessarily, right? You know, she was in there doing her thing, I'm in there doing my thing. So we like on opposite sides of the bar. It was like
Okay.
a square type of bar. And she was on one side, I'm on the other side. And she talking to some dude or whatever the case may be. And some other cats had came up in there, and you know I'm dressed kind of like flashy a little bit, and you know they went and sat like not right by her but like close enough to where she could hear their conversation, and she could hear that they was like sizing me up on some real shit. Like they talking about me, like you know what they, you know, it's like they was plotting on me or whatever. And she was able to shoot me a little text and let me know what was going on, and I was able to ease up out of there. You know what I mean? But had she not been there, it wasn't a situation where I was like getting action from a female that I was right there by myself. Like this, that's how old this shit is. I was drinking. You know what I mean? I probably had like
Okay.
a Long Island iced tea or something like that. But I had been talking to different girls up in there. But at this particular time when they walked in, I was just by myself having a drink. But you know, they looking at me and they probably could tell by the way I'm dressed and how I'm looking that I ain't from around there. You know what I mean? No disrespect to Baltimore. Baltimore got a lot of grimy ass niggas.
They definitely grimy out there on the East Coast. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy.
No, especially Baltimore though. Especially Baltimore. Baltimore got a lot of grimy ass niggas. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and these dudes was like, you know, prototypical Baltimore dudes. You know what I mean? So but now it was a blessing that she was there with me that night, and she was able to pick up on what was happening and let me know, because had she not been there and had she not put me up on game, ain't no telling how that could have went.
Yeah, I can agree with you. That, you know what I mean. I just think that's the most high out there. You know what I mean. Also protecting us type deal, because it was kind of close to what you just said. I kind of ear hustled, and that's how I heard the dudes over talking like, "Oh, look at him, he's sleep. We finna get on him. He's sleep." But that's why I was fellowshipping with the girl, but I was still kind of keeping my head on a swivel while I was getting, you know what I mean. So once I heard, "Oh, he's sleep, we gonna get him," I kind of made eye contact with the dude, like, "What?" And
Right.
then once I made eye contact with the dude, he looked at me and then he put his hand up for another dude. And I looked back and I'm like, "Hey man, let me get your number so I can go ahead and get up out of here." She's like, "You finna leave already?" I'm like, "Yeah, I gotta get up out of here."
Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
I
but
gotta
see,
get up out of
that's something that
here.
you got to keep in mind too about, like, the way I see it just all over America, right? And it's funny, I was having this conversation with my bro just last night. But the reality is the pandemic changed the world dramatically. Like if you look at how things was before the pandemic versus now, the world is completely different. And one thing the pandemic
Yeah.
did gave, I mean, we always had jackers, but man, a lot of jackers were born during the pandemic. A lot of people was getting booked everywhere because if you think about it, it's kind of like similar to the dope game in the 80s, right? And that don't really get
Okay.
talked about a lot. But like in the 80s, you had a lot of dudes selling dope, having money, jewelry, doing their thing, but you had a lot of jackers too, though. Everybody wasn't trying to
Yeah.
sell dope. Some people just seen it like, I'm gonna just rob the dope man for his jewelry, his money, whatever he got. I'm gonna just rob his ass. You know what I mean? Some people was like that. And on the same token, during the pandemic, when Trump was giving everybody that money, a lot of people was getting bust down and bust down jewelry, watches, chains, all that shit. And some people was like, that's cool, but I'm gonna just rob them niggas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I could get the
I
pandemic
know
money
some.
too, but I'd rather just go, you know, catch him, you know, coming out the jewelry store, catch him at the ATM machine, or, you know, catch him, you know, coming out the casino or whatever and just book his ass. You know what I mean? So if you keep that in mind, man, hey man, this is so many robbers out there. You know what I mean? Like everywhere. You know, especially somewhere like Philly. You know, like Philly, I could just imagine it was probably similar to LA and Miami and everywhere else during the pandemic where a lot of people was getting robbed. You know what I mean? Because like in California, it changed to the point where the places that used to be safe ain't safe no more. You used to be safe on Rodeo Drive. You used to be safe on Melrose. You used to be safe on Hollywood Boulevard. You're not safe in them places no more. And that changed during the pandemic. So and that's just LA. You know what I mean? And every other major city got, similar experiences. So if you really think about that, and then especially somewhere like Philly, you know what I mean? Like Philly, it's a major city, but at the same time, they don't really have all the opportunities that like a LA or a New York have. You know what I mean? As
Correct.
far as how to get money, and like they Philly got real poverty and all that type of shit. I mean, not to say that LA and New York don't, but I think they poverty level is probably a little higher. So, with that being said, the jackers is probably a little more prevalent out there too. So me myself, if I was in Philly, I'm not having no jewelry on. I'm not being flashy. I'm not doing none of that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's what I realized, man. You know what I mean? I realized when you out of state and you by yourself, man, you got to kind of like tone it down a little bit because they did the same thing when I went to New Orleans for Mardi Gras.
Oh
You know
man,
what I'm
New Orleans,
saying?
hell no.
Man, they tried to get me out there one time. I'm out there just Louis down, got the glasses, got the belt, you know what I mean? Got the little bracelets out there, Louis to the ground. You know what I'm saying? And the next thing I know, one of the dudes, he came and told me, he was like, man, you know what I mean? You seem like a cool dude. He was like, I see you talking funny, but he was like, man, you looking like bait out here. And I'm like, what? He like, yeah, you looking
Yeah.
like bait, man. If I was you, I'd get up out of here, man, because you looking like something good. And I'm like,
Yeah,
all
see
right,
New
man, I
Orleans,
appreciate the info.
New Orleans, that didn't change. I mean, it might have got worse after the pandemic. I don't know because I ain't really been in New Orleans like that after the But New Orleans Jackers always been a thing out there in New Orleans. Like and see, New Orleans, them dudes is like they real like covert and slick out there. Like prime example, right? I remember this was like in 2017. Me and my partner who I was cool with at the time, we drove out there from LA, right? And
Okay.
when we pulled up out there, he smoked weed. Obviously I don't, but
Okay.
the cat I was with, he smoked weed, right? So we met up with some game this from out there, but it's somebody that we've been knowing for years. He's some game. So we pull up on him, right? And when we pull up on him, we in the third ward. And it's in the afternoon. It's the daytime, but we pulled up at a car wash, and across the street from the car wash, it's a liquor store right here, and right next to the liquor store is a barber shop, and it's few dudes out front, each one, some dudes in front of the liquor store, dudes in front of the barber shop, and they looking like they ain't even paying attention to us. You know what I mean? They looking like they, like we don't exist to them, right? But my partner that we pulled up on, he from there. So he letting us know. So when we pull up, the cat that I'm with, he just pull out his money to pay for the weed. And he just got like a bankroll like this. And
Stack.
he doing and Pippin was like, hey man, put that away. Like, hold on. Like, let's get inside the truck and do that. You know what I mean? Because he was like, you ain't paying attention, man. Them dudes over there, they look like they ain't looking, but trust me, they are on us. And if we give them any reason to come over here and take something, they gonna do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, New Orleans always been one of them places that you got to be careful. You can't be shining too hard, you know what I mean? Especially when you go off into them hoods and shit like that. And see, people don't know that too. Like I think it's different now. I think the gentrification is probably hitting New Orleans now. But see, like historically though, like the tourist area, the French Quarter,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
right by the projects. Like the projects is right there. You know what I
Right
mean?
there.
So like the hood is like right where the tourism is. You know what I mean? A lot of times when you go to like tourist places, like the hood is sometimes not too, but it ain't just right. Like in New Orleans, that shit is right there. You know what I mean? So you know, the jacking always been a thing out there. So it sounds like you done
Okay.
had some warnings, man. You just like, man, I don't give a damn what these people talk about. I'm gonna get fly. I'm gonna put my shit on. Like, I'm putting my shit
You
on.
know,
Shit, I don't care what they talk about. They gonna just have to get me.
man, nah, it just be like, man, I'm out here for the ladies. I ain't focused on none of these male jiggles. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here for the ladies. So I'm like, man, I ain't worried about what the niggas talking about. You know, like just like you, man. I remember when you was telling me how you grew up in the hood and you used to do different things to kind of get money type deal. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So, you know what I mean? I feel like, man, I'm from the turf. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I kind of know how to move around certain niggas. You know what I mean? You know? And I say, as long as I keep the most high on my side, man, I should be able to maneuver through these streets without no problem, as long as I ain't starting no problems.
Right, right, right.
So that's how I try to move, man. But like you said, I got to tone it down, man, just because they be on me. I'm gonna have to be like when I came on your live last time. The comments was crushing me, man. Talking about I look like Bobby Womack. You know what I'm saying? They was on my
I didn't see
helmet,
that
P. I
last
was
time. That's
like,
funny.
so I was like, oh man, these boys is crazy. They right. The internet is undefeated, boy. Them boys had some jokes for me.
That's funny.
Hey, that's crazy. But I'm gonna get one more question in, P, and I'm gonna get up out of here.
For sure.
So man, I'm dealing with, you remember I told you I was dealing with the snow that was a little older. I don't know if you
Yeah, yeah,
remember last
yeah,
time or
yeah. I
not.
remember that. Yeah.
Man, I never showed her where I live, never, you know what I mean? Showed her none of that. So I guess she went on to one of them invest sites, man, found out where I live at, found out where
Damn.
my mama live at, found
Damn.
out where my cousin lived.
She was serious about you. Shit.
So I'm like, hey man, I don't want to deal with you, but she's like constantly on me, pulling up to my people spot, like she just on me. So I'm like, man, I'm getting scared. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang, I ain't never.
She on some thin line between love and hate type shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is going on here? So, man, how do you maneuver through things like that, Pivot? You know what I'm saying?
uh, I'm trying to think. Have I ever even been through something like that? Like that, like popping up different places. Like I don't know, man. That's yeah. I don't know. I think it sound like you must have put it on her in a way she ain't never had before or something like that. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, man, because I broke her a couple times. You know what I mean? Try to give her some game. Like, that's how you should be moving. That's how you should be doing things. Instead of doing it like that, you should be doing it like this and this. And she just like, man, I ain't never had that. I ain't never had that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now,
Yeah.
like I said, on me tough.
And she still on that, huh? She's still like popping up places and all that.
A whole guwap, man, just popping up. Boom. Like, dang, where you come from? I was missing you. Like, no, get away from me. What are you doing? So I'm like, I don't like you. Watch out. You know what I'm saying? She like, nah, I'm willing to do anything for you. I'm willing to do it. You want me to do this? I do it. You want me to do this? I do it. I'm like, nah, I want you to do nothing for me no more. I'm good. I just want you to leave me alone. Man, she hit me up this morning, man. Just whoa, 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 whoa. Like, what? Calling me from different numbers. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, man, I'm thinking it's for my business. So I'm picking up numbers. It's her. Like, what is going on? So I'm like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And what another thing is crazy, I never told her my name. I never stated like, hey, this is me. You know what I'm saying? Just like how you be like, it's Freeze. You ain't getting me your government. You like, this
Yeah.
Freeze. So I'm doing the same thing. Like, this 10, woo woo. Found out my government name and the whole goo-wop. So I'm
It
like,
got to be
man, this
something
girl
like
is
I don't know if it's your phone number that you talk to her on is in your name or something like that. Could
probably.
it could be that, you know what I mean? But it's most likely something that you revealed to her that intelligence and figured everything out through that. It could be one small piece of information that she used to, it's 2025, man. That's one of the unfortunate things about technology is that it gives people access in ways that it shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Especially a female. That's like again, they meticulous. You know what I mean when it comes to details and shit like that. So it might be the slightest little thing that you wasn't even thinking about. She was like, okay, let me put that under my hat. You know what I mean? And she using it now. So
Crazy.
yeah, you probably gotta and chicks like that, you probably gotta talk to them on the text now or WhatsApp or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's probably
definitely
what it
can't be giving
is.
these
Like,
girls my number.
yeah, it is. It sounds like she probably used your phone number, or I don't know if she on social media with you like that, or
Yeah, she ended up.
I don't know if this is what she did, but
Okay.
I forget. Damn, I forget dude's name, right? But it's a guy. He was on Valuetainment. I don't know if you hit the Valuetainment, but I'll be watching Valuetainment, right, with Patrick Bet-David.
Okay.
And he interviewed this dude, and the dude created this technology where you can put somebody's face, and it'll give you all the information about that individual. You know what I mean? So I don't know if she utilized something like that. You know what I mean? Or what? But yeah, that when I seen that shit, I was like, damn, that's crazy. You know what I mean? They got
It's
some
definitely
technology now.
insane.
I mean, the technology that I'm talking about that this dude created, I forget his name, but I want to say he's from the UK somewhere. I think he's from the UK. And I don't think the technology is, in everybody's hands like that. A lot of people ain't familiar with it, but I believe it is out there available. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but they got some shit now where you could just take a picture of somebody's face and put it in the app or whatever the website is or the app or whatever, and it'll tell you everything about that person. Shit is crazy.
You can do that on Google, really. Like if you go to Google and you put in an image, it'll pop up anything from that image. Like you know
Yeah,
what I'm
see,
saying?
it's kind of like that, but see, with Google though, it has to be that exact image got to already be on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like with this technology that I'm talking about with dude, you could take an image that's not on the internet of somebody's face, and it'll just like run that shit through the system and tell you everything about that individual, which is crazy. You know what I mean? So she might have
Literally.
used something like that on you. I don't know. Right, like
That's
facial
crazy. Like I
recognition
was
type
telling
shit.
her. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like I was telling her, like, man, you're using your time wrong. You're using your time trying to figure out how to find me and look for me where you should be trying to get some money. You know what I'm saying? If you use that same brain to get some money, we'll get millions out here. We might have millions.
That's funny.
Hey, B, it's crazy, but it is, it's crazy, man. I'm like, this is like coming to a P's crib, knocking on a P's door, whole nother one. Because one came back to my stable, she was acting all funny because she was like, "Oh, you talk to other girls, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So she like, dang, I'm done talking to you. So I'm like, all right. So she ended up swinging the block. She like, well, I guess I can accept it. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So she accepted it. She over a crib chilling. The Snow come over there banging on the door like that. She like, what's that? I'm like, man, I don't even know who that is. She's like, you don't know who that is? I'm like, I don't know who at the door. Oh my gosh, I don't know who at the door. So the girl got scared because the Snow was out there banging for like 10 minutes straight. Just do. Like you said, I got a footprint on the door. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is going on?
Hey, she better be careful though, because hey, some chicks don't be playing like one of my partners was telling me a situation recently that he was in, right, where he was down the street from the crib, sitting in the car with this chick that he was talking to, right? And the chick
Okay.
that he was staying with, she pulled up. Long story short, she seen him in the car with the other chick, and she pulled up, jumped out, and walked up to the car, right?
Okay.
Now, fortunately for her own sake, she wasn't on no rah-rah shit, because the chick that he was in the car with had that thing on her and was
Okay.
ready for her to make any kind of froggy type move. You know what I mean? So, chicks don't be understanding, like, hey, everybody ain't gonna play with you like that. So, like I said, fortunately for her, for the snow, and that in your case, the chick that you was with didn't have that thing like in her purse or something like that. You know what I mean? To be like, hold on, like, what the hell she on? You know?
Yeah, she definitely didn't have it because she, you know what I mean? She didn't deal with me before, so she felt more comfortable, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, she been in her crib, we done been places, you know what I mean? We've been out scooping up girls together type deal, like how you were saying earlier, like, when you was on one side of the bar, she pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? We finna go to this little swingers club this weekend and see what I can catch out there, real.
The swingers club. Wow, okay.
Hey, I'm taking two of them with me. We gonna see what we can catch out there one time.
It's funny because you
I
got
heard this
different
judge.
P's. You got different P's that be going in them type of spots. I ain't never been inside one. In Vegas, I don't know if it's still there. I don't think it's still there, but in Vegas they used to have the Green Door. The Green Door was a swinger
Okay.
spot that was real popular in Vegas years ago. But P's used to be in there all the time, but I never been inside there. And then in Arizona, they got a spot called Encounters. And Encounters is
Okay.
real popular in Arizona, and a lot of people be messing with that spot too. But again, I never been up in there neither. But
Yeah, they pretty cool. You can't go in there as a male by yourself, so they don't let no dudes
right. I
come in there
think
by themselves.
I think Encounters is set up like that too. I think where you got to have a woman with you. I think, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I heard this judge be in there, and I'm trying to catch her. So if I can catch that judge, man, get her on my team. That's what I'm on the hunt, P. I'm on the hunt.
You trying to get that judge? Huh? You trying to bang the gavel on her ass? Huh?
Hey, that's what I'm trying to get. You know what I'm saying? After that, she can sign a couple papers for me, do some things for me, real life.
I dig it. Shit. I ain't mad at it. Shit.
But yeah, Pep, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate when you said you doing lives again, because I'm gonna try to jump back in the game with you.
Shit. After today, I'm gonna go live this weekend for sure. Probably Saturday or Sunday, or maybe both. But
You doing
Sunday, most likely for sure, I'm gonna be live.
what we doing? Early morning game or we doing
Nah,
night? What we doing?
Sunday I'll probably go live in the evening.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, yeah, man, I'm gonna hop back in the game with you. I'm gonna tell you about some other little bean heads I got. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. 10, man. It's always a pleasure, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Always, Freeze. I fuck with you, man.
For sure. Indeed.
Yep.
1. 10 a fool. He be cracking me up. That man said he going to get him a judge. I ain't mad at it though. She might be able to dismiss some things in his life. You dig? Okay, correct vision. The Green Door is still there. I wasn't sure if it. You said it's on Katy. Was it always on? Didn't the Green Door used to be on Sahara? It's probably on Katy now, but I think the Green Door used to be on Sahara, if I ain't mistaken. I think. I'm not for sure. Maybe they moved it to Katy. Unless I'm tripping, maybe it was always on Katy, but I thought it was on Sahara. Motor Culture says, long time ago, I've been to a swingers club, but it was me and one of my friends. We played like we was a couple. We was mortified. It wasn't hardly no attractive people in there. Now, again, like I said, I've never been in there, but in Arizona at Encounters, right? Encounters is the swinger club in Arizona, and on the weekends, Encounters be popping like the parking lot area be popping. You know, it'd be like food trucks out there. A lot of people be hanging out. So, you know, I done plenty of times hung out in the parking lot over there by Encounters. And I done seen some cool people going up in there before. I done seen some little chicks that was kind of decent looking going up in there, you know. But I would imagine that a lot of people ain't really nothing to look at up in there. Parking lot peas, yeah, you know, that's what people be doing. Even though lately, I don't think Encounters be popping, not at least how it used to. The club itself still be popping, but everybody don't be pulling up to the parking lot like they used to, because that's how popping the parking lot was. A lot of people used to just pull up just to be in the parking lot with no intentions on going inside. And then, like I said, there used to be a lot of food trucks over there so you could eat, you know, all that type of stuff. So, but I don't know if it's still popping like it used to. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up, man. I don't want to be too long with y'all, even though we've been 2 hours. Y'all know, shit. Last few times we done been 4 hours, 6 hours, all that type of stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and hang one more time before we get up out of here. If you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped in, make sure you do so on the way out. Let's see. Hold up. Black Warrior Spirit, as always, good looking with the $2 holla. Can you elaborate on the term trick ray vision? Yeah, I got you, man. Hold on. Okay, so trick ray vision is basically when a woman has the type of outlook towards men, whatever man she sees, whatever man she gets involved with, the only thing and the best thing that she can see that man doing for her is something like some type of trick like behavior, some type of trick like activity, right? So, you know, you might meet a chick and you might think she cool and you trying to get to know her, get personal with her and all that type of stuff. But, you know, she doesn't see that with you. The only thing she can see you doing is some type of trick like behavior on her behalf. So, you know, she wants you to pay for everything. She, you know, she's not going to even want to do anything in return for what she wants you to pay. She just wants you to pay for everything just because she's her. You know, whether it's going to dinner or going to the movies or going to a bar, whatever it is, you know, she got trick ray vision. The only thing she can see you doing for her is trick like behavior. She can't see you doing anything greater than that. So you might have some hell of a game for her, but she can't even recognize the game that you got to give her because she's so stuck on the trick shit. You know, pimping deal with that all the time. Well, I ain't gonna say pimping. Well, yeah, pimping deal with it too, but more so than not, you know, people in the game, that might portray themselves as pimps, they deal with this shit all the time. They get a chick and they think that, you know, she gonna be a real 304 for him. She gonna stomp down, she gonna hand it over, she gonna run it up and all this type of stuff. But even though she calling him daddy and she getting money and handing it over to him, she still sees him as a trick. So a 304 with Trick Ray Vision, this handing it over to a guy that's supposed to be her folks, right? She might be the type where, you know, her money is funny, her money is real slow, and she still, because she call herself being down with you, she, you know, she has an expectation for you to spend more than what she's given, right? You know, even at times where her money is funny or her money might be on life support, she still expects to spend on whatever she wants you to spend on because she got this Trick Ray Vision, right? And a lot of these dudes in the game don't make it no better because, you know, they like zebras. They got a lot of slashes on their ass with the stuff that they into and how they get their money, you know. So a lot of these dudes is giving birth to these types of chicks because in a lot of these households nowadays, there's not the same type of pressure being put on these chicks to produce. You know, whether they produce or not, a lot of them still are certain types of, you know, lavish, luxurious lifestyles. You know, they still get to go shopping when they want. They still get to get their hair done when and how they want. They get to go get their nails done when they want. You know, even if they get these long ass nails like this long and they break the nails, you know, within 48 hours of getting them, and they right back at the nail shop, you know, just wasteful and excessive, and, you know, some man is gonna trick on her behalf. You know, so that's what Trick Ray Vision is, man. Trick Ray Vision is basically a chick who can't see any other good in a man than some trick-like behavior. You know, you might be a hell of a, you know, person to, you know, talk to and that she could trust and be comfortable with and express to you whenever she going through something. She ain't gonna even be able to recognize that value in you because the only thing she wants you to do is trick on her. You might be able to have some hell of a game for her, you know, whether she be in business or, you know, whatever type of line of work that she's in, or if she is a 304, whatever it is, you might have some hell of a game for her that can amplify whatever it is that she's doing, but she can't even get to that because only thing she wants from you is some trick-like behavior, right? This damn thing is tripping. I said this thing is tricking, but it's tripping. But yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up. As always, I appreciate you for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. I appreciate you for sharing this video. I appreciate all the comments, questions, input, feedback, jokes, all that good stuff. I appreciate you subscribing. I appreciate you hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate all the super chats, the cash apps, the PayPals. I appreciate your support in every which way that it comes with it, man. Y'all already know who it is and what it is. Freezes it. If you out traffic moving around, please do so in a safe fashion. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable Sinful to P. We out.